Aquaman number 10, written by Jeff Johns, art by Ivan Reyes. Last issue we left off with Black Manta and Aquaman squaring off to fight, and it being revealed that Aquaman killed Black Manta's father. This issue picks up with another one of the others, the Operative, as they are later revealed, is breaking into Black Manta's lair and is basically just looking for information as to how he managed to track down all of the others. And he goes on the computer, and I can't tell if it's a superpower or if it's like just a holographic keyboard, but regardless, he can't find anything on the computer about it. So he breaks into a safe using his little golden trinket thing, where he just touches it to it and it seems to open up any lock. Interesting enough. And as he looks inside and finds some files, some of Black Manta's goons get the drop on him, but he uses his kung fu and crazy gymnastics to fight against all these guys, and he's like, oh, you brought this on yourselves, having worked for Black Manta. But he does take a shot to the stomach, and he has to bail out through the window. He's on the comms with somebody, and he's like, all right, I need you to catch me. And apparently it's this guy who's flying just this airplane really low down close to the city that they're in. And Operative fires off a magnetic line and gets back inside. And we see that inside is this whole like actual home. Like it's just a straight up living room with like a fireplace and everything. And so he sits down and he takes off his masks. And we see that Operative is actually like 80 years old. Like he's just an old man. And the entire reason that he's able to do these things is the suit. Like the suit has abilities and he's just kind of piloting it. And his grandson comes up and he's like, hey, you're too old, Gramps. You need to retire the suit. And he's like, I'll retire when I find a suitable replacement, which isn't you, Aaron. So get back in the cockpit. God damn it. So they're going to find Aquaman. Meanwhile, Stephen Shin is still talking to Mera, who's basically like, why should I trust you, Stephen? You say that Aquaman killed him. Why should I trust you? And he's just like, he didn't tell you about any of the others, so clearly he's keeping secrets from you, Mera. And then we cut back and forth between the dialogue of Stephen Shin and Mera and a battle scene between Aquaman and the others versus Black Manta. And it's a big fight. It's like nothing is really particularly done during it, but it's just a big fight scene. Prisoner of War catches back up with the rest of them, and they're all just ready to go fight Mera. And then we see what actually happened that night at like Aquaman killing Black Manta's dad. And his father was attacked by Black Manta or something. It's not directly shown yet. And as his father is lying in a hospital bed later on, he whispers something into Arthur's ear telling him that he has to do something once he's gone. And then we see Arthur out on this ship in the middle of nowhere, and he finally found his ship, and when he went up onto the deck, he thought that Manta was all alone and he was going to attack Manta. Someone fires a harpoon at him. He immediately turns around and cracks the neck of it, believing it to be Manta. But it turns out it was actually Manta's dad, and at that moment Manta re-arrives back on the ship, sees Aquaman holding the dead body of Manta's dad, and was just like, all right, circle of vengeance. They're constantly going to be attacking each other. So Manta and Aquaman are still fighting. Manta fires off a shot from his eyes, and it actually manages to burn Aquaman a little bit. But he's like, oh, no matter what happens, it's up to me whether or not Manta lives or dies. This is on me. To which Manta then takes advantage of the distraction, fires a harpoon at Yawara's little globe thing around her neck that allows her to teleport, steals it, and then yoinks himself out of the scene right to where Stephen Shin and Mera are. And he's like, Stephen? He's like, Manta? And that's the issue. Pretty quick, pretty just, most of it was that fight scene in the middle there. But I did like how it read in terms of it's setting up more of the others. It's set up this time Operative. Last time it was the Prisoner of War. It's setting them up one issue at a time. It's taking its time with it, making sure we understand what each one of them is capable of doing, even though I'm a little bit shaky still on Prisoner of War. And it's also still setting up the menace of Black Manta in a new way, because we haven't really been that introduced to him. But it's setting up like, okay, here's his goons. He's powerful enough to like burn Aquaman. He's able to kill these people. Like, it's just taking its time. It's a slow roll. And now that Black Manta can teleport and go wherever, and he's literally right next to Mera, I sense a cool fight scene there as well. My only concern is that we get too bogged down with the cool fight scenes and we don't really do anything besides that. I do like when it takes some time to talk about things and like explore these characters. So hopefully it takes some time for that. But this particular issue I did enjoy enough. I'll go ahead and give it an 8. I think it is extremely well done. It's not, I don't know, 8 now that I'm saying it feels a little bit high, but I stand by it just because compared to other comics, this is quality writing. It's very high quality art. It's very well done. And I should be comparing this against other comics, but it isn't doing anything that amazing for Aquaman. So it's good by any comic standards. It's just kind of average for its own standards, if that makes any sense. So still looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Hopefully the others stay interesting long enough to finish out the arc.